Welcome back to Let's Play Contrast. I'm BurningDogFace, and Princess Dawn here has just outrun a giant boulder. She's about to have to run away from a giant spider, but don't tell her that, because it sounds very, very stressful to know a giant spider is going to leap out at you at any given second. Now, as we saw last time, in order to get back here, I had to play through the entire Princess adventure again, which was a little bit of a bummer. But you know what's a bigger bummer? You see that number down there? It's correct this time. And the reason for that is that I loaded an even earlier save, and I taught the Luminary measurement how to count. Let's do it in crash cuts. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. So, now that I've done Tortuga's Revenge 3 times, I'm quite sick of pirates. Give me a few days, though. Pirates are pretty awesome. And, let's find out how this story ends.
Suddenly, a giant spider jumped out of the shadows and attacked her. She ran and climbed and jumped and climbed, but the giant spider was very good at climbing too. It had 8 legs and the princess only had 2.
By the way, I didn't say anything about it last time, but, that bit in the forest where, it was like, and so the princess fell and was impaled upon the bamboo. Wait, no, that's not what happened! I really liked that because it very specifically reminded me of the game over screens in, Prince of Persia, The Sands of Time, where, the prince who was, as a framing device telling the story to Farah would say, wait, hang on, that's not what happened. Or, that's not right, let me try that again. Oh. Okay, so apparently just because I made it up here, it's like, we'll just pretend, oh, shit, I just barely made it. I think I know what I need to do here. These are the kind of webs I can break, aren't they?
Fortunately, the princess remembered how the webs were holding up boulders.
Ooh. Oh shit!
Poor spider.
Sweet kid. Yeah, the boulder that chased me was trapped by a web.
Finally, she found Fred.
Hey, Fred.
He was all wrapped up like a present for the giant spider's girlfriend. He was dreadfully embarrassed about having to be rescued again. He really loved the princess. The princess decided he was cute. Fortunately, the king told him about a dragon that he could slay in order to win the princess's hand and stop being so embarrassed. So Fred marched off to the mountaintop of the dragon, singing a brave song very quietly.
Aww.
After a few days, the princess got to wondering...
why her dad kept trying to give her away?
That too. But she was worried about Fred, so she went off to find him.
You do have to admire his perseverance. Let me just say, this is a astoundingly female empowering story for 1923. Actually, speaking of 1923, I wrote it down here. Yeah, DRS Dino pointed out to me. I didn't realize that the Mary Poppins movie was based on a book, a series of books, actually. And while, the movie didn't come out until, I think it was 64, early 60s anyway. Even the first Mary Poppins book didn't come out until 1934. So, just so we're clear, Dee Dee was referencing a movie that wouldn't come out for another 40 years, because she specifically said the nanny from that movie. And that movie was based on a book that won't come out for another 10 years. Well, 11 if we're being specific, but come on, man. The best part is that it's not just one of those, oh, Dee Dee knows more than she's letting on moments seem to happen now and then. It was because Johnny recognized it and acknowledged it.
The dragon's mountain was cold, and the wind howled at her to turn back. There were rock slides and fiery chasms, but she was very brave and nimble,
Ooh.
just like you. She wasn't going to be put off by a few deadly dangers.
Oh yeah, and when I went left at the beginning of the forest segment, or the spider forest segment. Oh no, that was the ogre section. Yeah, sorry. I commented that I was kind of expecting to find a reference to Limbo there, especially since it immediately dead-ended in a tree, just like Limbo. Well, my good friend Ronan Drake points out, they probably didn't bother to put in an Easter egg reference to Limbo, given that in this, silhouetted 2D sequence, you end up getting chased by a giant spider. Which is, let's face it, that's the part of Limbo everyone remembers. Like, there are some other bits in there with factories and elevators and lots of stuff with levers, but the giant spider is the thing everyone remembers with Limbo.
Up and up she climbed. When she got cold, she thought about the hot buttered muffins she would make once she got Fred home. Do you still like muffins?
I love muffins.
The princess hoped Fred liked muffins.
Who doesn't like muffins? Oh. Oh. What else have I got written down here? No, that's not a good noise. Ah, yeah, that's what that noise meant. Darthinionable suggested that, perhaps... Come on. Ha!
When the princess got to the lair of the dragon, she was not very surprised to see Fred hanging from the roof of the dragon's cave.
Dragons get a bad rap in fairy tales. Some of my best friends are dragons. Yeah, Darthinionable suggested that maybe Dee Dee inherited some kind of actual magical ability from her biological father, Vincenzo. And, Dawn is her sort of mental representation. It's sort of an extension of her will. That she's, like, not doing it on purpose, but because she can imagine, because she believes in this woman with super strength and, superhuman abilities who can move around the environment and do things she can't, these things are changing in the environment around her. Which is why Dawn can go to the other side of a door and unlock it for Dee Dee. I really like that idea, I have to admit. That Dee Dee is this innocent little sorceress, I think. I think it's sorcerer is the one that naturally gains magical abilities, rather than a mage who studies to unlock the potential. Okay. Ooh. Hey there.
So she taunted the dragon until it roared its fiery breath at her.
And so she died. I suppose there's, you know, like a magic sword out here somewhere? Maybe a javelin? That didn't work. You know, I did consider the idea that none of this is actually happening. When I was going through Tortuga's Revenge this time, I considered the fact, oh, we flicked these two switches in the basement together, and it fixed the entire ride, so it'll be great for, you know, her daddy's customers. And I thought to myself, what if this isn't actually happening at all, and this whole thing is a fantasy of a wish fulfillment, where she goes out and fixes her daddy's shitty circus so that, you know, things can be better. Oh, don't walk into the dragon's mouth. I see. Oh. Sorry, Fred. One more. Get some Bactine on that afterwards.
Finally, burning away the ropes that were tying up Fred. And so the princess and Fred lived happily ever after. Fred never had to go on another adventure again, and they had hot buttered muffins every morning. There is another version of the story where the princess flew off on the dragon's back to have a life full of adventures, but that's for another day.
Huh. It's kind of a weird ending.
Yay! Yay, Don, you did it!
Drop down to 3 frames per second there for a moment. Alrighty. Achievement unlocked. Handy person. Unlocked when the player repairs the 3 attractions. Oh, handy person, like handyman. Fair enough. So, that's a weird name to put on the Princess Adventure. I was peering around before I went in this time, and there don't appear to be any collectibles hidden around. Wait, didn't I get an achievement for finding all the collectibles in the second bit? Do 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 do. Yeah, it's real late today. Yeah, there it is, Groundskeeper. Unlocked and the player discovers all the collectibles in Act 2. I had a couple other things written down here. Oh yeah! I wanted to say, I actually wanted to mention it in video 7, since that was the first one from yesterday, but I totally forgot because of all the puzzle stuff that was going on. I hope you guys all had a happy Valentine's Day. Whether or not you're with that special someone right now. Everyone deserves to be wished a good day, you know, even if they're by themselves. Clunk279 wanted to, you know, well, he echoed a thought I've been having this whole time, wondering what exactly are luminaries? They're just these glowing balls of light in the environment, but there seem to be machines that specifically rely on them, and Dee Dee referred to them by name, so I, you know, was thinking it's not just another random fragment of her imagination. By the way, when I loaded the thing in the previous chapter, it actually labeled what's it called? Something with the briny deep. It brought me to the bit after I finished that chapter, so I had to load the one right after I beat the all the pretty horses, and which meant I had to go back and get the Luminary from the strength tester again. Oh, and I've just realized that it's a film reel, because it's a slow motion replay of the pummeling Johnny got back in Act 1, specifically, not just some other pummeling. I'm not even sure what country this is supposed to be in, so I'm not sure what ocean this is. It's always nice to spend some time on the beach, and I go, no, I cannot. Some really stiff sand for my fast footprints to sound like that. World's Fair. I don't know if you're allowed to just call an exhibition that. I think that's an organization. Well, screw it, I'm just faffing around at this point, so let's get back to the circus. Honestly, I'm a little disappointed the princess story didn't end more satisfyingly. Or she just rescues Fred and they bail on the dragon to go back home. And I guess she liked his persistence as much as I did. You know, that must be why they seem to end up together. Though I did like the note that the dragon survives and they go off and have adventures together. You know, I acknowledge that there are some shitty dragons out there, but there's at least one I'd take a bullet for. Good times. Alright. Impressed, Vincenzo?
Vincenzo came back!
Hey, what do you think, Vincenzo? Did you ever consider trying out for the trapeze?
They're good at what they do, Mr. Fenris. I'll give you that.
I got my balloon back, I got a princess from my puppet theater, and my pirate ship is sailing the bounding main.
So you're a man of your word.
Go ahead, count it. It's all there. Need a hand with your stuff?
My apparatuses are very delicate, and I don't like anyone in my workshop. You provide the audience, Mr. Fenris, and I will provide amazement. Mr. Fenris, why are you organizing this circus? I know who your investors are.
I promised my wife and daughter I'd clean up my act.
But if I don't pull in the crowds for you, those boys are gonna put you in the river.
Without Cat and Dee Dee, I wouldn't care much if they did.
Ah.
So those crowds better come.
I didn't talk to him. I didn't talk to Vincenzo.
That was why we left the house in the first place, if you'll recall. Feels like about a week ago for some reason. It's not like anything important even happened to me in the last 2 days.
Hey!
Act 3, Turn a Blind Eye. I figured the acts would be separated by, you know, transitions in and out at Dee Dee's house, and then, where have you been? Alright, I was just standing there because the frame rate was calming down,
Vincenzo's
so...
going to a secret workshop. I can finally talk to him all alone. But
Over here.
where is it?
Sort of got
He would ever take me with him? Vincenzo, you know, when he travels all around the world?
Probably not, no. Given that he doesn't want to be your father. And no, she didn't hear that. Les Cirque du Pachyderms. Having a circus specifically for elephants seems kind of odd.
Now we go this way. Follow me.
I think they just announced, what was it, Ringling Brothers is shutting down? Which is simultaneously understandable and a shame, given that it's been around for many, many years. Whoa. Wonder where that's shining. Given that, you know, in this day and age, training animals to perform tricks in front of audiences and, you know, whipping them to train them to do so is considered kind of barbaric. Can't believe there's no collectibles back here. I must have to go here eventually. I think I'd heard that this particular circus had been hit with a few animal abuse violations over the years. Specifically. So, you know, on the one hand, it's really a shame that a thing that had been entertaining people for decades is coming to an end. On the other, maybe it's for the best that that kind of thing, you know, falls by the wayside. Ooh, one of those penny farthing bikes. I have no idea how you keep your balance. Well, we're going to follow Dee Dee and look for Vincenzo's secret lair in the next episode of Let's Play Contrast. Which hopefully won't end on melancholy notes of institutions ending and animal abuse. Oh, God. I really know how to pick my moments. I'll see you then, Burning Dog fans. Later!